at the moment, we've got the Falk location coming up, and then we have a number of other kind of behind pipe opportunities that the technical team's going to turn their attention towards now. So the future from our perspective is really bright in Pine Mills. But again, it is limited. At some point, we'll start to look for other opportunities. But at the moment, we're laser focused on getting Pine Mills up to the potential that we think it can be.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me this morning, Nostraterra Oil and Gas CEO Paul Welsh. Paul, thanks very much for speaking with us. For those that are new to this story, could you give us a quick intro?
Sure. So Nostraterra is an AIM-listed E&P company focused at the moment on the U.S. We have assets in East Texas and West Texas onshore, and we are at the moment, very profitable company at current oil prices.
You've announced a fundraise. What will the proceeds be used for, Paul?
So we raised 500,000 pounds yesterday, and the funds will be used for the completion of what we call phase two workover in the field. So it was a 5-well program. We raised money in the autumn for the first 3, and we just followed up with funds for the next 2 or for the final 2. So this will allow us to complete this program. The second program, which is why it's called phase 2, involved essentially running new casing in wells that had leaks up hole. And so it was a little more technically challenging and a little more expensive than the phase 1. And so we wanted to kind of have a continuous program. So what we did is we did 3 wells, and then we paused and we fixed a lot of niggles in the field, I call them, because when we're focused on these wells, we can't get to the general maintenance stuff. We dealt with those, and now we want to finish these final 2 while the team in the field is essentially has some expertise running casing in these old well bores. So it was just kind of the time that we needed to do it. The company's generating profits. The oil prices come off a little bit. We could have waited and done this, maybe 6 months later or something. But we have other things that we're planning, in the budget for the remainder of the year. And so we really took the opportunity to do this now because we needed to get the funds in, and we need to get the funds in the ground and start producing oil and gas. So that's why we did it.
Paul, it sounds like growth is the order of the day at Nostraterra Oil and Gas. Then, what else can investors expect to hear from you?
So I think, going forward, we've got the Falk 3 location that we're looking, with our partner to agree on. Technically, we've already proposed it to them. They're thinking about it now. I think what investors should expect going forward is just to talk about the amount of profit we're generating. As part of the phase 1 program, we restarted a water flood in the northern part of the field, and that was restarted in September. It took a while for the pressure to build up. It took a while for the wells to respond, and the wells have responded better than we expected. And so part of the funds that we're using now are to upgrade 2 of the pumping units that are in the field at the moment, because we're getting more volume than we expected, and so commensurately higher oil rates. And so we're excited about the potential here, and we really feel it's time to invest in that and make sure we've got a really solid, profitable base. So when we move forward, our base is covered, and we're generating the kind of profits that our investors expect. So it's yeah, I think the future is really exciting. I think we are really benefiting from the amount of investment we put into Pine Mills. But at a certain point in time, there's going to be, only so much we can do with the field, and then we'll start to look for other opportunities. But at the moment, we've got the Falk location coming up, and then we have a number of other kind of behind pipe opportunities that the technical team's going to turn their attention towards now. So the future from our perspective is really bright in Pine Mills. But again, it is limited. At some point, we'll start to look for other opportunities. But at the moment, we're laser focused on getting Pine Mills up to the potential that we think it can be. So with this last investment, I think we told everyone we're going to make about 110 barrels a day once these are up and running. I hope we can exceed that. Our target is to get from Pine Mills somewhere closer to 150 barrels a day prior to drilling the Falk locations. But we'll see. I mean, we're working hard at it. The guys in the field have done a fantastic job. So, we're really excited about, what we see here.
Finally, Paul, why should new and existing investors be excited about NTOG?
I think they should be excited because we're profitable. We've got a good solid footing. And I think we understand what the field can do now, and we've invested in the right way. Obviously, not everything is going to work, but to this point, most things have. So we're pretty excited about that. And if you look on the website, there's a couple of presentations out there that show there's a lot of kind of untapped potential within Pine Mills from existing wells that have penetrated other horizons that haven't been completed yet. So we think there's a lot of technical opportunities in this field that haven't been realized, and so we think it's a good place to put our money. Again, just to keep that profitable base going when the company hadn't had it for quite some time. So it just allows us to get the comfort that we can continue to invest in and get investors a return on the faith they've given us in putting money into the company. So that's really what we're looking forward to going forward.
Paul, I hope you'll keep us updated on any progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
All righty. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Take care.
You too. Paul Welsh, the CEO of Nostra Terra Oil and Gas.